On the clock. It's 9:07, 10:07 there. We're going to do 1 hour. We're going to talk about Tropic Thunder. That is the
I get the
episode.
case.
That is the movie we decided to do. You're having a whole bunch of connection issues there, bud.
Not bad.
He's
Is it
freaking
better
out.
now?
No. There it is. Sweet. Wait, can we have more than two people on a live?
Uh,
I don't think so.
unfortunately, not. No, not. I don't think. No, I don't think it works like that.
What's going on with the internet over there, man?
We have a storm.
Oh, you have a storm.
Yeah, it's storming. Well, it's like snowing or whatever. This click.
Are you on LTE or are you on your home internet?
I'm on Wi-Fi, but I can switch to data if you think that's better.
Give that a shot.
Did you shave your head?
No.
Okay,
Look at this hair here.
there you go. If I minimize this, will I still be here?
Yep.
Well, we'll figure
I
it
think
out.
so.
I might be back. I might still be here. I might be back. One sec. Here we go.
Okay. So, as I said, we're going to talk about the movie uh, Tropic Thunder. I'm getting all flustered because this man's internet's not working right quick, and I don't want to get into too much of it. I do want to talk about the little. Yeah, you were paused for a moment. You got the little spinning wheel on your face, though.
Right now?
Oh, that's better. There you go. There you go, buddy. What's up, Chantel? What's up, Bo? We got some viewers tonight, dogs.
I don't know that,
Um,
Chantel.
she's from Halifax.
Oh,
We went to junior high together or something.
nice. Was
I
she at
dropped
the
my
wedding?
pen. No. um, so, Tropic Thunder, the 2008 film with Robert Downey Jr. in blackface. That's what everybody remembers it as.
Yeah, did he get
Uh,
flack for that? I forgot to look it up. I don't remember him getting flack for that, but did he get flack for that?
I think in the context of the film, it's okay, but only in 2008 and does not hold up in 2021. Is how I sort of. But
So you're
simple.
okay.
I was just gonna say the simple. What's the fucking simple Jack character was equally as offensive in my opinion.
Right? Right?
And you'd never go full retard like bit. Can't do that now. That's the first and last time I'm going to say that word on this podcast or this
Yeah,
whatever the fuck.
that's
Right?
pretty bad.
Um.
I was what that part threw me for a loop a little bit too. I was like, ooh, I don't know about that one.
Yeah. But as you recall, 2008 was a very different time.
Ages
And
ago.
this movie was ahead of its time. I feel like it's meta.
Yeah.
It's got all of these actors playing completely different roles than they've ever played, except for Jay Baruchel. He plays the same
He's always
fucking
the
character
same.
and everything.
I mean, God bless
Um,
the guy, Canada and everything, but yeah, pretty much.
Jack Black, I've never seen him portray a character quite like this.
He was kind of
Portnoy.
doing his Chris. He was getting his Chris Farley. Chris Farley was his inspiration. I heard.
Oh, okay, I can see that. Just a
Yeah,
drugged out comedy actor doing fart comedy.
yeah.
Uh, unfortunately, Chris Farley kind of had that career.
Yep.
And I feel like if he had gotten out of his drug stupor and lived, eventually he would go on to be more like an Adam Sandler, who does still do brain dead, dumb moron comedy. But
But
every
not
now
as
and
good.
then, Adam Sandler will pop out like that comedy special he did a couple of years ago that was pretty good, or a movie like Punch Drunk Love, or a movie like 50 First Dates, which is like not great, but it's like a decent romantic comedy compared to like The
Punch Drunk
Water
Love was
Boy, where
great.
he's just going ooh, 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 for 2 hours. You know what I mean?
Wedding Singer might have been my last. I'd have to go through the catalog, but like Wedding Singer is one of the last ones I remember really liking by Adam.
Did you see the one with Joseph Gordon-Levitt? Was it?
50-50?
Yeah, and Seth Rogen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got
That's a
that.
Judd Apatow movie, right? Like
I'm
that kind of is an Adam Sandler movie. That's not an Adam Sandler movie that like I appreciate a lot.
interesting. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. I'll have to revisit it maybe.
Yeah, maybe we watch that one for a future episode.
Oh, look, it's Corey.
What's up, Corey? Corey in the house. They never heard that one before.
Oh, probably gonna leave now. the so what makes a movie good?
Okay. What does make a movie good, Kayla? That is an excellent question. I would say Tropic Thunder at its core is a good movie
I
because
agree.
it has all the building blocks. It has, it had great like cinematography. That's a big one for me. If the movie looks like shit but has good writing, I can let that slide. A lot of mumblecore movies, the movies by the what the fuck is his name from the league? The Duplass
Oh,
brothers. Mark Duplass and
uh,
his brother make all those like romance movies where they just like talk low to each other the whole time.
I just
Those look
started
like
watching The League.
oh really?
Yeah, it's
Fucking
hilarious.
aces.
Yeah,
Those movies are good because they're structured in a way that you got your three acts, you have your conflict, and then you have your payoff. Just the gimmick is that the whole time they're sort of not mumbling, but like
mm.
talking to each other in a very natural, real way. Like they're not enunciating. You don't enunciate in real life. Like in blockbuster movies, they're always like, "Hello, I am delivering my lines."
Yeah.
But in those movies, they're just kind of like, and then I went to the store, and then she came over, and we fooled around or whatever, and then they drink beer, and and those are good. They look like shit because they're just like shots of apartments.
Is it the camera? Are they using a different camera? Is that what, or is it like just the angles and the lighting, and the blocking, or
The
like so? For
blocking and the
example,
lighting, yeah.
yeah, because like because they're like the movie that they're making within the movie, like at the beginning, like it has a cheapness to it, but like a Hollywood, like it still has like a Hollywood pizzazz cheapness to it, and it still works somehow. Like it,
You're talking about Tropic Thunder.
yeah, like the movie they were making within the movie.
So that's what I was saying. But there were a lot of shots. There were a lot of big, wide shots of jungle, and like there were the shots with the helicopter flying in right before uh, what's his face gets blown up.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I was like, this looks like a Vietnam movie, and I believe CCR is playing at that point too. There's all this meta stuff going on in this movie that I really enjoyed because of
yeah,
like all of it is like looking right at the audience, and being like, look how ridiculous these people are. Look how
yeah,
ridiculous the situation is. But like, couldn't you see these dumb actors in your world getting into these dumb situations?
yeah.
Uh, Ben Stiller's Ben Stiller's character was a little over the top, but Kirk Lazarus is what I imagine actors are really like in real life. That vein, uh, that urge to get into their character so hard that they do some bullshit like
Pigment.
go get surgery to become black.
Yeah, pigment reassessment or whatever, reassignment or
Yeah,
whatever.
reassignment.
Yeah.
So
The Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that element of it, I do really enjoy it. I think it's a good movie, but it was a better movie in 2008. And I'm not one of those people that can be like, oh man, the PC, please, PC. I fully am on board for like calling assholes and pieces of shit out for being assholes and pieces of shit. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this movie really like they don't really get their comeuppance. Robert Downey Jr.'s character, he even after they realize it's not a movie anymore, he still keeps doing the character. And every time they ask him like, what, like, then why are you still doing the character? He's like, I don't know. I
Oh
really
no.
like he doesn't get his comeuppance for being
Because he doesn't break character until he's done the DVD commentary.
that's
And so I own it, the DVD. I'm assuming you don't have the DVD.
no, I watched it on Crave, I think.
Okay, so I a few little things I want to mention. That so I remember, like, before I started watching it, I remembered that they had like fake trailers at the beginning of it or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so I pop in the DVD, and then
Satan's Alley.
well, no, so I pop in the DVD, and then this trailer comes up. It's a Robert Downey Jr. and Jamie Foxx movie trailer, and I was like, oh, like this is actually like this fake trailer actually seems pretty good. It was actually a real trailer, like it was one of the trailers before you get to the DVD menu or whatever.
Yeah,
So that
yeah.
made me laugh that I got tricked. Like I felt like I tricked myself or whatever for the trailers or whatever. And then also I watched it. I watched the movie, but then I also watched the commentary. And Robert Downey Jr. stayed in character during the commentary. It was dope.
Oh, he's
It was
stating character for the. That's another thing he would only be able
more
to do.
meta.
It. Yeah, and that's another thing he'd only be able to do in 2008, right? Like, this camera too close to my face. I feel like I'm just a giant face.
No, you're good.
The movie you're talking about that I've never heard of is called All Star Weekend. Does that ring a bell?
The Soloist is the one with
Oh,
Jamie
there it
Foxx,
is. Okay. There's
which I
another
thought it
movie.
was a fake movie. Like it kind of had, it felt like so. I tricked myself, I placeboed myself or whatever, right? Because I was expecting there to be fake trailers at the beginning, and
Yeah.
so it 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 had an exaggerated kind of like story or tone to it or whatever. But at the same time, it was like, oh, this actually would be kind of a good movie. And then like it did like coming out this time, and then it had like another trailer for an actual movie afterwards. Like, oh, I'm not actually in the movie yet. This is like an act. Like these are actual trailers before the actual movie or whatever.
Okay, so Joe Wright is the director of that movie. He did The Soloist. He did
Yeah.
Hannah, Pan, which was a sequel to Peter Pan,
Oh yeah,
um,
I remember that one.
and Pride and Prejudice, the 2005 remake. So I could see like you're seeing this over the top drama, and you're assuming that the next one is going to be Al Pacino's Booty Juice
Yeah, yeah.
commercial, followed by what was
The
the
fatties.
Portnoy, the fatties, where they're just
Yeah.
literally it's just the scene from the Clumps where they're all sitting at
Yeah,
the table
Nutty
farting.
Professor or yeah, Nutty Professor. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The Night Professor
Or
1,
yeah,
2, and Here Come the Clumps or whatever.
yeah.
Like, it's so funny to me that Eddie Murphy did those movies and they were so bad, and then he took some time off and came back, and the first movie back, Coming to America, he's just back doing those ridiculous
Again.
characters.
Yeah.
But I heard Coming to America is actually pretty decent.
The first one or the new one?
The new one too.
I heard it wasn't very good.
No, okay.
I haven't
So
seen it yet.
so we've heard mixed. I'm also hearing that about the Snyder cut of Justice League, but I watched the first chapter and it was better than my experience with Justice League the first time around, but still not, still dumb as fuck. Anyway, I digress. I don't like DC. That's it. Like, that's at the end of the day, that's my problem. Is I don't give a shit about Superman, especially brooding dark Superman.
Yeah. They're not doing it right, to say the least. Like DC has some good like realty or whatever, what's the word I'm looking for? Uh
IPs,
things to draw from. I can't think of the word.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
source material.
Yeah, yeah. But no.
And I will say that their television shows seem to get better reviews. Like,
Gotham was dope.
I liked Gotham a lot.
Yeah.
And apparently the CW universe that they've created uh, is decent. This new Superman that just came out, I guess, is like pretty good. It takes place like Superman's already done the superhero thing for a while, and him and Lois moved back to Smallville.
Nice.
Apparently, it's good. I just don't like Superman no matter what. But I especially don't like it when Zack Snyder comes in and tries to make him angsty, because the Christopher Nolan Batman did so well that now Superman has to be gritty. Superman is not gritty. Superman is not a gritty character.
No, he's a knight in shining armor, like tight ass or whatever kind of.
He comes in and saves the day with a big punch or a guy, and then he gets the girl. Like, that's Superman. He smiles and kisses babies and gets the girl.
Does he get the girl? It took a while for him to get the girl.
That's true. Clark Kent and Lois Lane have issues, but Lois Lane and Superman get down and dirty on the regular, I think.
That's true. Okay, yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
It's kind of like Spider-Man and Mary Jane, where Mary Jane's like, I can't kiss you, Peter, because I have a boyfriend and his name is Spider-Man. Peter Parker's like, ooh, I'll kiss you upside down. How about?
That's how they know.
So Bo says here that if I like the first one, the second one will make me happy. The problem is I don't know if I've ever sat all the way through Coming to America, the original.
I'm pretty sure it's on Netty.
It is on Netty. It's on like everything right now. I have full Crave set up. I've got Disney Plus. I've got Amazon Prime, and I've got Netflix. And I fucking spend more. Well, that's how we do now. I spend more time looking for something to watch, and I always just end up watching Superstore or The Office.
Superstore is funny.
I love Superstore. It's a little. I didn't expect to like it. The first season's kind of rough, but
yeah,
once you realize that the creator of Superstore wrote like 50 episodes of The Office, and you sort of you think of it as a spiritual successor to the Office, then you really start getting the angle and the jokes. And I worked retail. I've worked in grocery stores. I get it. I know that world, right? So this is a episode of our show about Tropic Thunder. Yeah, so so we talked about the ads at the beginning. They all have a real 90s movie vibe, I thought. When you would go to the movies in the 90s, you don't really get that anymore from trailers, where it's like, in a world where one man and another man make love. You don't get that. Now it's like trailers are like a mini movie about the movie.
Yeah, you basically know the whole movie.
And they show the whole, like, I don't watch trailers for action movies because action movies only have so much in them. Superhero movies only have so much in them. 70% of a superhero movie to me is the Easter eggs, and they're gonna blow all that. They're gonna blow all that shit in the trailer. So what I find myself doing now is I'll watch the trailer once when it comes out and kind of like just watch it. Don't even think about it.
Just
watch it.
Yeah.
Then forget about it until the movie comes out. Every Star Wars movie that's come out since
Solo?
Force Awakens.
Okay, yeah.
So 5 movies now. I watched the first trailer. Well, Rogue One and Solo, and then the 3 sequels.
Yeah.
And Mandalorian, I guess, if you want to count that. But I watched one trailer, and that was it. The Bad Company show that's coming on Disney Plus, all I've seen is that, like...
What's Bad Company?
Did you watch The Mandalorian?
Not yet. I don't
okay. Well, I won't spoil it for you. Basically, Bad Company is like characters based on another Marvel show, but they're going to do it live action. Not Marvel, sorry, Star Wars. Disney.
Sounds good.
So we go into the movie, and they're already filming a scene from...
I think it's called Hot LT or some shit like that.
Like Bad Lieutenant, but Hot Lieutenant?
I think so. I feel like that's the name of the movie that they're making within the movie.
So they're filming the climax, which we do actually end up seeing them relive in real life at the end. And we have Danny McBride as like the pyrotechnic guy who just wants to blow shit up. I think this was like his first real thing, because I don't think Eastbound and Down even came out till after this.
I think that's right.
Danny McBride was in stuff, but I think yeah, that's true. But this is where he gets into that Judd Apatow crew and starts being put in like all of those that group. That's probably from buddying up with Jay Baruchel, who is like kind of a tangential character in the Seth Rogen posse, as we find out
from
in
Undeclared. Yeah,
from Undeclared, right?
yeah,
And so it's very incestuous that they all end up working together, but it turns into great media, right? Um, so I really enjoy here that Jay Baruchel's character is like that character from Full Metal Jacket with the glasses. He gets
yeah.
murdered brutally. His whole entrails come out. But the scene that I love the most here is where they're arguing over who gets to cry, and RDJ's hands are blown off, and
Yeah.
they're just like phalanges. That was great.
Was wasn't it Ben Stiller's hands were blown off?
Was it?
I mean, semantics.
I can't remember. I watched this fucking movie a week ago. What did I write down here? RDJ as a black man is even more jarring than it was in 2008.
I thought it was hilarious.
Lol, his blown off hands. So I still don't know. Then they do that huge explosion, which was a total waste.
And fuck up, yeah. They waste the production money or whatever because they weren't filming. Fucking fucking Tom Cruise as the executive or whatever.
Yeah, Les Grossman.
Grossman, yeah. And then Matthew McConaughey as the agent, Peter Pecker or whatever it is, which he kills. He kills. I love TiVo.
Yeah, he's so worried about the littlest, dumbest things, and when he comes through the jungle towards the end with the TiVo, and he realizes what's going on, but he still doesn't really realize what's going on. Yeah, excellent stuff. Shout out to Maria Menounos is in this. She's always great. She's on the entertainment TV bit.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to shout her out because I'm a wrestling fan, and she's a huge fan of wrestling, and she always shows up on at like WrestleMania and stuff as a celebrity guest.
Very nice.
Also, Al Pacino is a hilarious name.
Al Pacino.
So then we get the
booty juice. Does not sound appealing though.
No. So they're trudging through the forest. This happens later, but they're trudging through the forest, and he keeps trying to get his booty juice in, which is great. So, Simple Jack, did they show the ad for that here, or is after we learn about Matthew McConaughey being Tug's agent?
Yeah.
Is that when the full retard conversation happens?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay.
No, wait. Yeah.
Or did they
at the beginning? No, at the beginning it was that Scorcher 1, Scorcher 2, Scorcher 3,
yeah,
Scorcher 4,
right.
Scorcher 5, and then the freeze over or whatever it is.
His
I'm
action
pretty sure
character.
Those were the only. Yeah, they didn't give Jay any movie previews, but then they had Alpa with his music video. They had Black
Satan's Alley.
Fatties. Right.
Yeah, Fatties and Satan's Alley with Tobey Maguire, and they're both like altar boys who are just Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah.
So I remember when this movie came out too, that people were blown away that was Tom Cruise as Les Grossman. Like they watched the movie. It's so obvious now, though. Like, I was the same way. I was like, oh, man. Like, there would be these internet articles that were like, bet you didn't know this character was in the movie. Like, What's-Her-Face is in Hook. Glenn Close. It plays a dude in Hook. Did you know about that one?
No.
There's a scene where Hook's sidekick guy tells one of the pirates to go... Yeah, one of the pirates to go do something. And it's this very... effeminate-looking dude with a beard. It turns out it was a cameo that Glenn Close was doing. And this blew people's minds. Yeah, look it up. So, and that, like, you look at it now and you're like, that's obviously her. But then you would be like, you wouldn't even think twice. But for some reason, I guess the makeup hadn't really gotten that good in 2008 or something, because people were like, "Who's this actor playing Les Grossman?" I
Yeah.
remember
Well,
people
he
being mind blown by it. Sorry, go ahead.
they wanted to keep it a secret, like Tom Cruise didn't want people knowing that he was in the movie or whatever. Like they didn't promote him or anything like that. They wanted it to be a secret. And like I'm pretty sure from what I was like looking up is like his hands or whatever, like his forearms and his hands were like also prosthetics or whatever.
Yeah, his arms were huge, and
Yeah.
also the hair looked so fucking weirdly realistic. Like I couldn't
Yeah.
stop looking at his arms.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Um, I could I like, but now I guess it's like 2008 is like right before HD as well.
Mhm.
So like not it existing, but it being everywhere. So now you watch this movie, it looked fantastic in HD. Like it really pops, especially on a 4K TV, on a in 1080p, whatever. P, um, and maybe that's why now it's so obvious that it's him. And back in 2008, before HD was everywhere, you would get a
Mhm.
movie, watch it on DVD, which is like 720 max. More realistically, it'd be like 480. Then you watch that on, you know, standard definition television.
Mhm.
Remember the TV that I had before I got my flat screen with the scan lines?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The huge fucker that weighed like 200 pounds, like that's what I'm talking about. Like you'd be like squinting to be like, who is that? And even in the theater, like I remember theaters, like you would have to go to an IMAX movie to see a movie in HD up until a certain point.
Yeah.
So I could looking back, I could see being like, I don't know who this actor is because it's not clear. But now that it's clear, like crystal clear, it's so
Mhm.
obvious that it's Tom Cruise.
I mean, it's definitely like looking at it now, it is obvious it's him. I did not realize it back then, but at the same time, I wasn't looking for like, you know what I mean? Like, it
That's
wasn't
true.
like, yeah, but like you
Yeah,
can
that's
see
the
it in
point.
his eyes basically that it's him. The eyes, yeah.
Yeah, and his like I don't know, they didn't really change his jawline that much.
Hmm.
They put a big nose on him. They changed his eyes, but like he did have a beard, but like this part of his face it looked like him, in my opinion.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I guess a
Uh,
little bit, sort of.
Shout out to Bill Hader, who had a very minor role in this, but I think he would have still been on SNL at this time, so
Yeah,
this
this
is
is still
probably
early
huge.
Bill Hader. Yeah.
Yeah, and he killed it. Like he had a small role, but he pops, man. He's a great actor, and I wish that he did more. I mean, he's doing Barry. Barry's a good show, but I wish that he did more like movies.
What do you think would be the best vehicle for him? Like, because I mean, the few things that I've seen him in, yeah, he's great, but I can't think of something that he could would solely be his vehicle or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think Barry is that
Hmm.
the like hilarious assassin. that's what I. That's my working title for that movie, the hilarious assassin. Uh, have you watched Barry? I've only seen the first like 5 episodes. I know it gets way better too. Like it starts well, but I know it gets even better. But
I'm
basically,
just learning about it now.
the premise is that he is a hired assassin and he wants to get out of the game, uh, and accidentally goes to like an acting lesson and really gets into the acting. So
Nice.
he's now leading this double life where he's going to acting lessons. So he's got this crowd of like wannabe actors in LA, and then on the other side, he's doing all of these assassination missions.
What's it on?
HBO, I think, or Showtime. Hey
No, this.
Google, what network is Barry on?
Barry is on HBO.
Nice.
We use that on the Blossom Buddies podcast a lot. If we don't know something, and
I like it.
it translates well. So at this point, oh yeah, Nick Nolte as Four-Leaf. Four-Leaf.
Yeah. No. Yes. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's 4 leaf. Yeah.
I wrote down a line that he said. I think they're trying to put him up in a hotel or something, and he goes, "Beds give me nightmares." I was like, that's pretty good, Nick Nolte. Nick Nolte is great. You kind of get him confused with Gary Busey. I feel
Gary
like,
Busey, yeah.
but he's like the super serious Gary. Like Gary Busey would have worked in this role really well because he's a comedic actor for the most part.
Yeah.
He's an insane person they let be on film, is what I should say. Nick Nolte is a more
I want that job.
to be an insane person they put in movies.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Fuck, I'm saying too many ums. Oh man, all these people joined and came, and I didn't see them.
Shout outs.
Any anybody who's still here? Hello. Oh, Bo's still here, and the button machine is still here.
So apparently, this movie was Stiller conceived it or whatever back in '87, and it was the inspiration or whatever was a couple of his actor buddies or whatever were telling him about how they had to do this boot camp thing for like a role, and they found it like really hard or some shit, and so he thought it'd be funny if imagine some pampered celebrities trying to do army shit or whatever.
Well, what it reminds me of, have you ever seen you've obviously heard of Survivor?
Yeah.
There's a TV show I believe is British only now, but they did do an American season of it called I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here.
Never heard of it.
And it's like Survivor, but it's also kind of like Celebrity Rehab, where it's just kind of like a bunch of celebrities sitting around a campfire in the jungle, but all the wide shots clearly show that they're in no danger.
Yeah.
There was like an episode where a snake got close to where they were shooting and they had to shut it down. You know what I mean? Because celebrities have all these weird, since they're part of guilds and stuff, they can't be put in any mortal danger. You couldn't, when a celebrity pops up on, I've been watching Survivor for the last 15 or 20 seasons. Mm-hmm. And whenever a mild celebrity comes on, it blows my mind that they were able to get them. But the level of celebrities are the girl from Facts of Life. They had in the movie School of Rock, Ted Nedry, Jack Black's roommate.
Yeah.
Whose girlfriend is what's her face? Hey, it's my Aunt Michelle.
Isn't it fucking that comedian chick?
Yeah, Sarah Silverman. Sorry, I got. Anyway, that dude was on Survivor. I'm going, what the
fuck? For just one episode or something, or
no, he was on the cat. He was there surviving.
Okay.
He made it pretty far into the show too. Hilariously enough.
Interesting.
And I've always wanted to see two things out of Survivor. Them go to the tundra, the Arctic tundra, because it's always tropical. Actually, it's been Fiji for 10 seasons because it's just they have a setup there and it's just cheap to do in Fiji.
Yeah.
The other thing is I wanted us all celebrity, even if it's just football players and B movie actors and celebrity actors, and comedians.
B movie actors, that'd be dope.
Right? I want a Survivor that's Celebrity Survivor. Because I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. No. That's what I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here is. It's a British show, and I think there's an Australian version where it's basically Survivor with reality stars. It's basically Big Brother in the jungle.
Yeah.
But I don't think they got eliminated. I don't know.
It was that good, eh?
It was that great. I don't even remember who was on it. So Steve Coogan's character is the director who they build up like he's going to be part of this thing.
Yeah.
Spoilers, he's not a part of this. He's in it for 25 minutes, maybe.
That was movie magic. He didn't blow up.
I love how long it takes them to realize that they're in the shit. But, and all of the little, Mr. Magoo level, fumbling through and accidentally this and stumbling into that to, them move along the plot. They should have been killed. Like in reality, they should have been killed like every single time they encountered anything. Just so happens that this gang of mercenary heroin dealers love Simple Jack. So you know what I mean? So Four Leaf tells Steve Coogan's character, just put the boys in the shit. Just take them to the jungle. Tell them we're filming guerrilla style, and give Ben Stiller's character the list of shots. The list of shots happen to line up with all the terrible things that are happening to them that they think are real. And then also there's a subplot where Jack Black's character, Jeff Portnoy,
Portney or something like that.
Portnoy, yeah, he's been doing heroin right up the nose.
That I'm pretty like I don't really know much about that stuff, but like I feel like that's not how you're supposed to do it or something.
You can.
Oh, okay.
It's I don't think you're supposed to.
Probably not supposed to do it, period.
Yeah, you're probably not supposed to do heroin, period. It's probably not supposed to put opioids in your body unless you have a broken face.
Tibia.
Yeah. So he takes their phones. You get a scene of Ben Stiller jamming a phone down his pants. So there's your way out of that one. Mm-hmm. But you have him take all their phones, and then he takes one step back while he's explaining something very big. He's explaining it very big, and then he steps in an IED and explodes. And they're like, "That's movie magic." He wants us to think he's gone. I think they see one of the cameras, so they're like, "Oh, I see. They're filming all this anyway." But then they get their first encounter with the guys, with the mercenaries,
or whatever. Yeah,
I kept calling them mercenaries, but they were like a cartel.
I don't know the difference.
Yeah, they were like a Korean, Indonesian cartel.
Yeah, maybe Indonesian. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but so that's the thing, though. So like, they had these from what I understand, they actually had a plan in place that they were gonna, guerrilla style film this thing, and then this, drug tribe or whatever, just randomly happened to be like that was one of the things that I didn't really quite understand. Like, was there actually a plan for a movie, or was Nick Nolte's character like, yeah, just throw them in it and fucking let's see what happens, without knowing anything about what was in that jungle in the first place?
No, Steve Coogan they didn't know anything, because we find out that Four Leaf didn't even go to war. He doesn't even know what the fuck he's talking about. Remember, he writes that book, and he's basically stolen valor. He was not stolen valor because he was in the army or whatever, but like he didn't see active combat. So,
and he still had his hands.
Yeah, and he takes the things off and he has his hands. So he was a total fraud. But they were going to do this. It seemed like. It's just a bunch of shit just happens to them, but these guys are so oblivious to it that they don't even realize what's going on until literally the third act.
Yeah.
So it was also so fucking funny where Steve Coogan blows up, and I think it was Ben Stiller picks the head up, and he's like, "Look at these special effects! Look at these!" And then he puts it on the fucking end of the gun. I was like, "Ugh!" Then they get ambushed. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like the mercenaries or whatever, like they see him play with the dead with the head or whatever. It's like, these guys don't fear death or some shit like that.
Yeah,
and that's, but so they leave, or no, and then fucking what's his face? What's the explosive expert guy's name? Why we were just talking
Danny
about
McBride.
Exactly, McBride. Yeah. So he sets off an explosive, which scares them because they pretended to throw, they threw like a fake grenade, but then the explosive that they had wired up, goes off, and so they bolt because it seems like they're actually blowing them up or whatever. But then they come back. Well, at least one of them comes back, right? One of them comes back later, and who was it that they got? Nick Nolte's character? Nick Nolte. Yeah, I think it was Nick Nolte's character. But like, they left because they were scared of them. But then they came. Like, it didn't. It seemed weird for that scene when they came back. and maybe they just didn't show us like there being a bunch of them there, but it seemed weird that they were scared of them and left and then came back again. I don't know, it was weird.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of movie has a lot of random stuff in it that makes it
Poetic
feel.
license.
Yeah, I think they might have just they might have just filmed this movie as they went to, because it is a comedy at the end of the day, and comedies are like a lot of times just a mishmash of a bunch of stuff. They had the location, they had to do what they could if there's some plot holes, and
The
fuck it,
original
whatever.
cut was 3 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that on the DVD?
I did research or whatever.
Oh, or whatever. What's up, Glenn? That's great. So I love the scenes in this where they've got their AKs or their assault rifles, and they're firing them wildly, and they've just got blanks in them.
Yeah.
And the mercs are shooting back and missing, but these guys are shooting their guns and just like it's
Just
the
randomly.
stupidest it's the stupidest thing ever, because we know they think they're filming a movie, and the mercs think these guys have terrible aim. And then
Mercs. Yeah, let's call them mercs.
Mercs, yeah.
Drug cartel. I don't know.
They say the R word so many times in this movie. But I will say that the he's right about not going full rotundo.
Special.
Full frittata.
Special
because ed? He makes a very good point that all the movies where people, like Forrest Gump is a good one, good example.
Forrest Gump's good. Yeah.
Where they still have some semblance of not being completely unable to take care of themselves. Mm-hmm. But then I think it was I Am Sam.
Yeah.
They bring
Sean
up,
Penn.
and he does do it, and it didn't win anything, and it just made Sean Penn look like kind of an idiot.
Yeah.
That's
went off the map after that, it seemed.
Yeah. It went off the map.
What else has Sean Penn been in? I think
Milk
is supposed to be a good movie. Yeah, I think that's supposed to be a good. I haven't seen it, but I think it's supposed to be a good one.
Yeah, I don't know what he's really done. He's probably in a bunch of movies that we've just never heard of.
Yeah, that's too bad.
That's too bad. He's Spicoli, man.
That was my brain or my head or whatever he said. I think it was just in my head.
Why did I write you was farting in bathtubs? Oh, is that and laughing your ass off? Is that RDJ trying to tell Ben Stiller about how he was terrible in Simple Jack?
I remember the line. I don't remember who said it, but I remember when it was said. I was like, that like it made me laugh because I remember being in a bathtub and farting, and then like the bubbles popping up.
It's very good. It's very satisfying. I don't know the last time that you've been in a body of water and farted, but highly recommend. I've farted in the Costa Rican Ocean.
Nice.
So, mic drop. Please cancel me. So, yeah.
I got a question.
I wrote that. Okay.
So I guess specifically for this movie, did you watch it with the lights on or off?
I watched it like in the afternoon, so There was no lights on. But why? Is it better enjoyed in a dark room?
Well, I watched it with the lights on. Like it was at night that I watched it, but I had my lights on because like I was taking notes and stuff as I was doing it or whatever. In general, well, I mean, if I watch something during the day, then you have like, just daylight, creeping through or whatever. But I'm pretty sure in general, watching things with no other, like just in the dark, and so it's just you're focused on the screen is probably best, like optimal.
Yeah.
I don't know why I wrote that down, but I wanted to ask you.
So what I will say is, this actually reminds me of my whole thing with this movie is that I was sure I had seen it. And I remember everything up until Steve Coogan gets blown up. And then I don't remember anything after that, which leads me to believe I watched half of this movie, shut it off, said, that's good enough, I've seen it. But in my head, like just, I've seen Tropic Thunder, obviously. Because I don't remember anything except for obviously the like you never go full artard speech, because that's like the thing everybody remembers the movie for. That and Robert Downey Jr. in blackface. But I don't remember.
I was playing the other guy.
Yeah, I don't remember anything about the heroin stuff. I don't remember Jeff Portnoy or whatever Jack Black's name being a drug addict. I don't remember how it ended. I don't remember that first scene is the same scene as the ending of the movie.
Yep.
So right around this point is where I'm realizing, fuck, I don't think I've seen this movie before, like really. And what I'll say too to that is it may be that I thought this movie was kind of lame in 2008 when it came out. I was more into like more shocking comedy.
Yeah.
And I wasn't into gore. Like this is before I ever watched The Walking Dead, and The Walking Dead ultimately desensitized me to any horror trope. It really gives you that slow burn, that slow release of gross like horror gore. Mm-hmm. And after I was done watching that, I could pretty much handle anything. So, and I know it's not even that bad. So I don't know what my problem was, but in 2008, I definitely did not watch horror movies. I didn't like the gory shit. And I might have just been like, oh, he got blown up. Turn this movie off. Done. I will say, if I had seen this in theaters, it might have been my favorite movie of all time. I would probably be one of those people that's like, Tropic Thunder, man, best movie ever. I hope I wouldn't be like.
See it in theaters.
Yeah,
I feel like I did see it in theaters. It has, and it does have a lot of funny moments, but it's a comedy, but it's not a comedy. It kind of feels like.
You know what? I think you see what I'm saying. Like, I didn't really laugh out loud. I laughed out loud at things that I find particularly funny, but no, I didn't laugh out loud at like the jokes that were jokes.
Yeah.
I mostly laughed at the cringier stuff. There's a scene at the very end during the credits where Tom Cruise is doing a dumb little dance that did not age well. That aged probably worse than the blackface or the you never go full R conversation, but just because of the cringe level. At least those two other things, there's a conversation to be had. There's no conversation to be had about a 50-year-old man trying to do like a funny little dance. A hip hop funny little dance. I'm Tom Cruise. I'm doing funny.
That's what he wanted to do.
He probably was like, I do a dance at the end. And they're like, I don't know. No, guys,
that's pretty much what
take it from me.
Like,
I do a dance. I'm Tom fucking Cruise. I'm a Scientologist. You know what? I do a dance. Told ya, it works. And Ben Stiller, the director and writer of the movie, is just like, we got Tom Cruise.
That's gotta be a hard feat.
Yeah.
Like, that's gotta be a really hard feat to write, direct, and act.
Yeah. That's what Ben Stiller does. That's his shtick, though.
He had something to do with Cable Guy. I remember when I saw his name on that, I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
I think he directed it, didn't he?
I think so, yeah.
And I think the Heartbreak Kid or whatever is like written and directed by him.
Interesting.
And Schmitty's that one where he's old. He's like, I'm old now. Oh, and forgetting the one with Monica, one with I don't have any names in my brain.
Courtney Cox?
No, the other Monica. Not Monica, fucking Rachel.
Oh, fucking
the other Monica.
Jennifer Aniston.
Along Came Polly. I think that might have been, or was that a Farrelly Brothers movie? Hey Google, who directed Along Came Polly?
Along Came Polly was directed by John Hamburg.
No idea who fucking John Hamburg is, so forget anything I'm talking about.
Did you ever see that? I'm pretty sure it was Jack Black was the other one. I'm pretty sure it was Ben Stiller and Jack Black. It was called Envy. And Jack Black made like a spray that would get rid of poop or something. And it became like a millionaire, billionaire, or whatever.
That sounds like a fake trailer.
It should have been, but they actually made a movie out of it. And there was another. I remember back in the day, like I would get like used movies from the movie rental stores, Blockbusters, Rogers Video, those
Jumbo
places that used.
Video.
Yeah, jump there. Remember how Superstore used to have like a video thing in it? And but I remember getting a few offbeat movies through there. There was one that was Ben Stiller, Drew Barrymore, and they're living in like a flat or something, and and there's like an old lady that lives in it too, and they're trying to like kill her or some shit.
I don't know what that is. That doesn't even like. I remember Ben Stiller and Drew Barrymore being in a movie together, but I don't. That doesn't really ring a bell.
Probably not that one. Je ne sais, but like you said,
Just
I
say.
digress.
So I did make a note that Jack Black's drugs get stolen by a bat, and then he eats the bat. So obviously, I wrote down that he's
COVID.
patient zero for coronavirus. So I think at this point, Jay Baruchel realizes they're going the wrong way because he's the only he's like us watching the movie as a character.
Yeah,
he's kind of like, all of this is ridiculous. Yeah, the straight man.
Yeah,
and he's like, we're going the wrong way. We came out in a helicopter. Now we're going through the jungle. Ben Stiller's like, fuck that. I got the scene list. I'm going this way. And he just leaves. He ends up killing a panda. Then he has a flashback to a panda ad he did.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we learn Nick Nolte never left the USA. And then Ben Stiller, still wearing the panda on his head, calls his agent, tells him about the panda situation.
Does a little, kind of like an homage to Apocalypse Now, sort of.
Yeah. Then there was a scene where Robert Downey, Al Pacino, makes fun of Australians who are predominantly white and indigenous, but he's making fun of blonde hair, blue eyed Robert Downey Jr. Australian.
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. gets pissed off at a black dude while literally in blackface. I was just like, this is great.
What do you mean, you people?
Yeah.
that was like one of the only lines that stands out for me that I had a good laugh at or whatever. It's memorable or whatever.
So they've tied Jack Black up. He's wigging out about the drugs. Then they find Ben Stiller at the heroin processing plant. He still has no idea everything that's happening to him is real. And then that's when we find out the kid loves Simple Jack. A kid, by the way.
Kid, he was in Community too. Kills it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who is he in Community?
He's in I think just one episode where Abed is recreating a scene from Spanish class, and so he's playing El Tigre Senior Chang. It's like my BS meter is going off the charts.
I rewatched that recently all the way through, and it's great. Yeah,
Community. I have watched that show. It's my go-to. It's like I've watched it so many times. I can't get enough. Troy
that's
and Ahmed in the morning.
That's The Office for me.
U.S. or UK?
U.S. Yeah. The British Office is fine. I'm one of those people that likes it, but I don't watch that first when I do a rewatch. And these days, what I've been doing is I've been watching season 1 till Michael leaves, and then starting over. Because I do like those final seasons, but they're not like I want to watch them all the time. I want to see season 1 to 4 on repeat. Season 1 to 4 or 5 or 6 even. Whenever Michael leaves is when it kind of. Well, Michael leaves, and then Will Ferrell's on the show, and a lot of people don't like Will Ferrell, but I do love that. When he comes back from getting the head injury and tries to tell a joke, it's one of the funniest fucking things I've ever seen. He's just like, and it just kills me. So the Mercs are going to hold the.
Quick question.
Yep.
Do you trim your soul patch area?
No.
Because it looks like that part's trimmed.
No.
All right. Well, the beard is fucking glorious. I love it.
It's very big. It's very big right now.
I love it.
I had a mask on earlier too, so it kind of pushes this part back.
Gives it a nice. Okay, look at that.
I'm not a person who wears a beard who has like a weak chin. See, I got a pretty decent chin. I just like wearing a beard because I'm lazy and I'm a skinny person with a double chin. Yeah, because we're men. I'm a skinny person with a double chin. It's weird. This little bit here, even though not skinny, but like not fat. But even when I was skinny, this little bit here kind of juts out.
How do you exercise your face?
You can't.
You just like eat gum? Should you just eat gum a lot?
You go.
Maybe like flex and then.
There are facial exercises. It is a thing. It is a thing.
Okay.
So we're just about at the end here of the podcast. Do you want to stick around and do a half-hour after show or something? Do you want to chill out, or you got to go?
I would love to chill out with you, but I do have another engagement afterwards. No, not tonight.
Oh.
And
okay.
Yes,
we do have
like
about 5. Wait. You're trying to tell? Oh, you're gonna go hang out with one of your dude friends and bang them?
No, we're not gonna bang.
You don't bang your dude friends? What are you, gay? So to wrap up the movie here, McConaughey goes to see Grossman. That's when they get into the whole thing with the TiVo. It's a really funny subplot to hear them argue about a TiVo. Then the Mercs call Grossman to demand $50 million. The Hollywood group thinks it's another firm because they have some like dragon, like the Dragon League or something like that. So it sounds like it could be another like movie firm,
agency. Or, yeah. Production company or whatever.
The Mercs make Ben Stiller act out the movie Simple Jack, and he's in this
dumber.
Yeah. He's in this dumb straw wig and like this paint that's like just probably paste. And then Jack Black is like, let's just do like they're outside the base. They're looking in. They're like, let's just do what I did in the Fatties Part 8 or whatever. Well, or no, it was like a college movie to go like on a panty raid.
Oh,
and
right.
He's like, let's get logs and put logs together, and then logs and underwear, and we'll make a catapult, and we'll put a parachute on made of underwear, and they just look at him like, dude.
For some reason, that's the point when they look at him weird.
Yeah. So I kind of stopped taking notes here because I actually enjoyed the end of this movie because I don't think I've ever actually seen it. And like I said, in the very first act of the movie, at the very beginning, they're doing this scene for the cool lieutenant or whatever. And it's basically like the two heroes are having words. It's kind of like Forrest Gump. It's kind of like Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah.
Or
do that, actually.
Deer Hunter.
Yeah, I think that's one too, actually. Halfway through the movie, I was like, oh shit, I should have made a note of every like movie that they're like calling to or homaging or whatever kind of thing, tipping the hat.
Well, the thing when Ben Stiller does this is from Deer Hunter, I'm pretty sure, where he's getting shot a bunch of times.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's the cover of the movie, isn't it? A guy like this.
I've never seen Deer Hunter.
I know, but I think that's like where the like guy getting like running back to the helicopter getting shot a bunch. Anyway, so they basically just do the end of the movie. There's an explosion and he's running.
The little kid, the little baby's fucking stabbing him.
Yeah. And then anyway, they make it out of there, and then the end of the movie is that the movie becomes a making of this disaster movie, and that's the movie. So the meta is just piling up.
Layered.
Yeah.
Stacked.
And it wins an Oscar for a documentary about a movie that didn't come out. And the documentary is all the film that they got from this nightmare situation they put themselves in. Nobody really learns anything. And that's about it. That's about it.
They did one thing that made me kind of like, oh, isn't that nice? Jay kind of saved the day, sort of at the end. Like he was kind of the one that like got it all taken care of, even though he was kind of like a side character throughout the whole thing.
Well, he was the only person that had any fucking intelligence through the whole thing. Yeah. And there was that fun scene at the end where Robert Downey Jr. finally snaps out of it. He pulls off like whatever prosthetics he has on, which means he's just wearing these. He's got the pigmentation thing, but he's also got all these fucking prosthetics on, and he pulls them all off. He's got those like hilariously blue eyes, like the bluest eye, like unrealistically
they bothered
blue.
me. That part did bother me for some reason. I don't know why. Like they were too blue or something. Like they were like fake. Like it's like yeah, I know movies are fake, but like I don't know. It's even I don't know.
So yeah, that was Tropic Thunder. It's been an hour, so let's talk about how we felt overall. If you were to give this movie a ranking out of 5, what would you give it?
Ooh. Out of 5? Out of 5, I think I feel like I'm being generous. I did like it, but like if we're gonna be saying like like what's a really good movie that deserves a 5 kind of thing, right? Like, and then if whatever deserves a 5, then what deserves a 4 kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And so if I were to rank this movie, um, for just considering everything as far as like just everything involved with the movie or whatever and all the different things that I would like about something, I would say maybe like 3.5-ish.
I was going to say between 3.5 and 3.8, but it's a sliding scale only because in 2008 I would have given this probably a 4, 3.8 to 4, but now scales closer to a 3.5 just because there's so much stuff in it that we can't really talk about at length because it's so offensive. I can't go into the politics of you never go full R word.
Yeah.
I feel like I said that word on this broadcast too many times as it is, but I had to get my point across.
Mm-hmm.
And the Robert Downey Jr. blackface thing just doesn't hold up that well. And I get it. Like, I understand what it's trying to convey, and I understand, but it doesn't, like, that would never, like, it might have happened 15 years ago where an actor was so vain that they do that, but it would never in a million years happen now. It wouldn't even be, no, but Scarlett Johansson's played a lot of Asian characters. Tilda Swinton played an Asian character in the MCU.
Well, isn't that just a voice, though?
No, she played, she was in Ghost in the Machine.
Was she Asian?
And Tilda, well, I don't know, but I mean, Aya or whatever her name is from Ghost in the Machine is, like, it's an anime.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. But
so they shouldn't have whitewashed it, is my point. And Tilda Swinton playing a great, like a kung fu supreme master, like, don't whitewash things is my issue.
I'm with you. It's inappropriate. Remember that scene from Tom and Huck where he tricked the kids into whitewashing the fence?
Yeah.
And he got a marble?
And you got, yeah.
That was actually a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
There's probably some anyway, whatever. What were we doing? Oh yeah, right. Whitewashing, blackface. I don't remember there being backlash at the time, which just kind of blows my mind. Right?
No, because in the context of the movie at that time, nobody had an issue with it. But if they tried to have a character like that now, it would be all that people talked about for exactly 1 month, and then they would stop talking about it and never talk about it again.
And then cancel them.
Yeah. But Robert Downey Jr. is like one of the first, like one of the prototype cancellations,
Because of his drug abuse?
Because of the drug stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
It took until literally Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he seems like a genuinely good piece of shit Hollywood actor.
Iron Man saved him.
Iron Man. Well, the whole thing with that is that they wanted to make these Marvel movies with known actors, but people who didn't get paid much. And Robert Downey Jr. was just coming back. He was in probably Kiss Kiss Bang Bang,
Kiss
and
Kiss
then
was the
Iron
other
Man.
one. Yeah, I don't remember the order of them, but they were very close to it. Yeah, I think it was Kiss Kiss and then Iron Man. Yeah.
But that was his movie coming back. He did a Shane Black film, killed it. Then they needed a Tony Stark, and I couldn't think of a better Tony Stark from that era of actors.
Well, I can't think of anyone anymore now because he owns it. He embodies it. Have you ever seen Chaplin? Did I ask you that before? Did you ever see Chaplin?
I used to like it as a kid. I haven't seen it since I was like a kid.
Like the Robert Downey Jr. movie.
That's what I mean. I watched it. I know it's not a kid's movie, but it was on the movie network, and I used to watch it all the time as a kid. So I'm due
that movie until recently.
I'm due to rewatch it. I remember it. Like I vaguely remember it. Like I said, it was on the movie channel, and I did watch it a couple times as a little kid. But like,
I guess
I
what
also
I'm saying is, would you say Robert Downey Jr. is a good actor?
He's a fantastic actor,
right? And what is it? What is it? How is he? Or like how? Like I can't even think of the words that I'm trying to say.
Because he's an artist. He's an artist. He's good. He's good at acting. Like he's good at turning a character and making it his own, but making it believable.
But so, give me some other words. Like what's the measurements? Like how? Like I'm watching it and I'm captured or whatever by it. But why? I want to understand why. I don't understand why I'm captivated.
It's believability. To boil it down to its simplest thing, it's do you believe that person is like that? And can you also subtract who the person is from the role? My problem with somebody like Joel McHale always plays Joel McHale in things. He's a good comedian. He's a good comedic actor, but I wouldn't say he's a good actor. You know what I mean?
He's a good filler. He's a good because he's been in Spider-Man, I think it was,
but not really. He just has
he's a little bank teller or something.
Yeah, he's a bank teller when they go to the bank, and he doesn't even have his plugs yet. Yeah. Mary Jane or Aunt May is trying to not get her house foreclosed on or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's our time. It was nice to talk to you. This was our review. I love you, brother. This was our review of Tropic Thunder. I hope that everybody has gone back and watched. Thank you for all the people that came through. Kayla, it was great to see you.
All you folks out there, sir. Till next time. Yeah, we'll catch up.
Yeah. Bye. It's the #1 champion sound. Fortnite about to get down.